Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our online study of logistics management. In last week, we discussed inventory management. We talked about different types of inventories and the classification of inventories. Also, we discussed two different inventory philosophies, such as pull-based and push-based inventories. Another important topic is the calculation of reorder point and the calculation of economic order quantity. Also, to better understand your inventory management, we introduced ABC analysis. It means all the items in your company can be identified as A item, B item, and C item according to their contribution to your sales revenues and the amount of items. So these are important topics in Module 5. Today we move on to Module 6, and we have 3 topics in this module: warehousing, storage and materials handling, and packaging. Okay, before discussing warehousing, we have to introduce the warehouse. So, what is a warehouse? What is a warehouse? There are traditional view and contemporary view. From the traditional viewpoint, a warehouse is a place to hold inventory for future use. So the key point is the function of storage. But from the contemporary viewpoint, there are more functions added to a warehouse. It means the functions such as product assembly, product reassembly, product packaging, and product pricing. So all these value-added services will be provided in a warehouse. The more functions are added to a warehouse based on the contemporary view. So in this sense, storage is an economic convenience. It is not a necessity. And products, so they can keep products damage free. Okay, in summary, we identified 3 aspects of warehousing. They are storage, materials handling, and packaging. So now we are able to define warehousing. So you can refer to the following definition. Based on this definition, we can identify 2 key points. The first point is to store inventories. So warehousing is to store inventories at certain nodes. The second point is to provide information about the status, condition, and disposition of inventory. Okay, so key points. First is to store inventories. The second is to provide information about inventories. Okay, next we have a look at the importance of warehousing activities. We look at this fig. First, we look at fig A. It shows the percentage of warehousing of the total distribution costs. So among the total distribution costs, we can identify warehousing, transport, and inventory. So these three important components, and warehousing accounted for about 23%. Okay, for the fig B, we find the main cost areas in warehousing. Two components include property cost and direct labor cost. Property cost, for example, the company needs to rent a warehouse or to build a warehouse. So this part is related to property cost. Labor cost is easy to understand. The company needs to employ people to work in warehouses. Now move on to fig C. We find costs by warehouse functions, and we can identify picking and storage. These two major components, especially for picking. The percentage was 40%. Also, picking activity is normally labor intensive. So this fig shows the importance and cost allocation in warehousing. Now we look at the SKU, the stock keeping unit. Stock keeping unit is a unique product or item. It can be called an SKU. And each SKU has a unique identification number. This number is assigned by GS1, the Global Standards Non-Profit Association. Also in Europe, this number is termed an international article number. It is called EAN. It is put on every item. It's a 13-digit barcode. Okay, let's look at this fig. It shows the breakdown of a pallet of one SKU from a pallet to individual items. So the pallet load can be broken down into different layers and then further broken down into carton. And finally, you can find individual item or piece. Okay, this is the broken down of a pallet to individual items. Regarding the general purpose of a warehouse, we can look at this fig. So first, a warehouse is to receive shipments of stocks. So after receiving shipments, the warehouse will check quality and quantity, and then disperse the shipments into bulk or reserve pallet storage. Okay, now the first purpose is for storage. Okay, next is to provide value-added services. Value-added services include cloth stocking, retrieval, picking, packing, and order accumulation. All these services are value-added services. So this is the second purpose of a warehouse. And then the warehouse is to assemble orders for dispatch, and then dispatch outbound shipments. Okay, two general purposes of a warehouse include storage and value-added services. Also, here we present some specific warehouse activities. There are different types of warehouses. We list some common types. The first is bonded warehouse. It means there is no need to pay government duties until the product leaves the warehouse. The second is distribution center. Distribution center has limited storage function. The main function is to meet the customer's delivery requirements by providing value-added services. Distribution center is very common nowadays, so the main purpose is to meet customers' delivery requirements by providing value-added services. The third is cloth stocking warehouse and component hub, special commodity warehouse, and bulk storage warehouse, cash and carry warehouse. So these present some features of each type of warehouse. You need to pay more attention to distribution center and cloth stocking warehouse. We will provide more details later. Okay, next topic is the ownership arrangements for warehouse. There are three types of ownership arrangements. One is private, the second is contracted warehouse, and public warehouse. So you need to understand the differences between different arrangements. A private warehouse, it is owned by the company or by the firm, means it is owned and operated by the firm. Contracted warehouse, it is owned and operated by a 3PL, but on behalf of one customer. So in this case, a firm's employees will work alongside the contract warehouse. The third is public warehouse. It is owned and operated by a 3PL. It's similar to contracted warehouse, but public warehouse is on behalf of multiple customers. So 3PL owns warehouse and hires out space and services. It means the firm just rents some space and services from the 3PL, rather than rent the whole warehouse or own the warehouse. So this is the difference. Now we can compare the economics of different ownership arrangements. We look at this fig. In this fig, we can identify 4 different types of arrangements. Okay, the public warehousing arrangement, and for leased warehousing, and private warehousing, pallet forklift truck handling, and private with automated handling. So there are 4 arrangements, and each line in this fig shows the relationship between the throughput and cost by using each arrangement. So the horizontal axis shows the company's throughput, and the vertical axis shows the cost to company. And here there are 4 lines, each is for each ownership arrangement. Now we focus on the horizontal axis. We find it is divided into 4 different areas. For example, when we look at area A, we find if the company's throughput is within area A, we find which arrangement is the most profitable. So you can identify the most profitable arrangement. Okay, we look at area A. We got to this. The public warehousing is the most profitable because the cost is smallest, least cost. It's similar when we look at area B. When we look at area B, we find the leased warehousing is the most profitable arrangement because of the least cost. It's similar for area C. We find the private warehousing with pallet forklift truck handling is the most profitable. And for area D, the private warehousing with automated handling arrangement is the most profitable based on the cost to companies. So you can select the most profitable arrangement according to the company's throughput. So for different companies, the best arrangement might be different. It depends on the company's throughput. Okay, next we move on to the storage functions. Storage functions, we can look at the storage space. The storage space can be used for breaking bulk, holding, consolidating, mixing, and bulk making. First, the breaking bulk. Breaking bulk means when the warehouse receives a large shipment, it can be broken down into small shipments. So this function is breaking bulk. Holding is easy to understand for storage. Next, consolidating function means shipments are from different origins, and then they will be consolidated in the warehouse for a specific destination. Next, mixing. Mixing means multiple origins. Shipments are from multiple origins, and then they will be mixed in the warehouse, and then will be shipped to different destinations. So multiple origins, multiple destinations for mixing function. Bulk making means the warehouse receives small shipments, and these small shipments will be accumulated into a large shipment. So it is bulk making. Nowadays, storage function or storage space includes more and more value-added services like customer labeling or promotional packs for grouping and sorting of products, display building and packaging, price marking. It means traditional functions and more value-added services. It is the contemporary storage functions. Now we look at different types of storage functions. First, we look at consolidation. As previously discussed, consolidation means shipments are from different origins. In this fig, for example, shipments are from plant A, B, C, so different origins. The shipments will be received by the consolidation warehouse, and in the warehouse it will be consolidated, and then it will be delivered to a specific destination. The same destination, but there are different customers. So the key point for consolidation function is multiple origins, a specific destinations. The next function is break bulk. So break bulk means a large shipment is received by a break bulk warehouse. So in this fig, a large shipment is from plant A to the warehouse, and in the warehouse, the large shipment is broken down into small shipments, and then they will be delivered to different customers, in different destinations. So a large shipment and then small shipments to different destinations are the key points for break bulk function. Next, function is sorting. Sorting, and it means there are three types: cross-docking, mixing, and assembly. First, we look at cross-docking. Cross-docking, we look at this fig. For cross-docking, there is a distribution center. There is a distribution center. And we find shipments are from different origins. Here, plant A, B, C. When the distribution center receives orders or receives shipments from plant A, B, C, they will be delivered to customer A, B, C in different destinations. Cross-docking is widely used by retailers to replenish store inventories. So we find it's from multiple origins into a specified assortment for a specific customer. We need to pay more attention about the function of distribution center. In this fig, for example, we consider customer A. Look at customer A. So customer A makes an order from plant A, makes an order from plant B, makes an order from plant C. So all the shipments for customer A, the shipments are from A, B, C. They will be combined in the distribution center, and then it will be delivered to customer A. It's similar for customer B and customer C. So it is the purpose is to meet a specific customer requirements. We can look at this fig, shows the function of cross-docking, and we can understand the advantage of cross-docking. So suppliers, we look at the in the distribution center. There are 4 suppliers, for example. Shipments are from suppliers to distribution center, and then they will be sorted in the distribution center and then shipped to customers. We look at the right side. So before cross-docking, 4 suppliers, 3 customers. So each deliveries. Also, for each supplier, it has to deliver A, B, C, 3 customers' orders, and because of the volume, it is less than truck. LTL means less than truckload. But after cross-docking, we find, okay, there are 4 suppliers, 3 customers. So for each supplier, there is 1 delivery or 1 shipment one shipment from each supplier to distribution center. And okay, for example, for we look at the blue box. So for this blue supplier, before cross-docking, there are 3 shipments to customer A, customer B, customer C. But after cross-docking, there is only 1 shipment from supplier to distribution center. So the volume can be increased. So here we find it is TL, it's truckload. So it means it can receive economies of scale in transportation. Okay, this is a cross-docking function. The second function is mixing. Mixing is similar to cross-docking, but there is one important difference. We look at this fig. Mixing can happen at mixing point. The mixing point might be a warehouse or mixing facilities, mixing center, or anyway. It is at an intermediate location between shipment origin and destination. So there is a mixing warehouse. Shipments are from different origins. Here, plant ABC shows the different origins. So shipments are shipped from different origins to the mixing warehouse. For mixing warehouse, there is additional product, and this additional product will be added to previous orders, and then according to customers' request, the order will be delivered to each customer. So we look at customer W. For customer W, he requests 4 products, A, B, C, D, and ABC products are shipped from plant ABC, and D is added from the mixing warehouse. So this is the difference between cross-docking and mixing functions. It's similar to explain this fig. The only difference is about the stock inventory. So in the mixing warehouse, there is a certain level of inventory. It is regular product. Here, look at the red box. It shows the inventory in the mixing warehouse. It will be added to the shipments from suppliers according to customers' request. The next is assembly function. Assembly function is to support manufacturing operations. We look at this fig. Okay, there are assembly plant and the assembly warehouse or assembly point is close to assembly plant, and the component parts are shipped from different vendors, multiple origins. Components are from multiple origins to the old assembly warehouse and then to the assembly plant. The second aspect of warehousing is handling. For handling aspect, we need to consider movement, continuity, and efficiency. These are two important points for the material handling. First, we look at the movement continuity. That means it is better to perform longer moves. It is better to perform longer moves because it can save time and can reduce potential damage to your products. The second consideration is efficiency. So it's better to move the largest quantities because you can achieve the economies of scale. The objective is to meet unique customer assortments, so satisfy your customers. Primary activities for materials handling include receiving shipments and in-storage handling and shipping. Also, material handling, it is a labor-intensive activity. But there are different ways. There are different ways to reduce handling costs. For example, you can reduce distance. You can increase number of units. You can seek multiple order picking and increase storage density. All these methods, all these can be used to reduce the handling costs. Also, the cost reduction can be affected by the physical layout and the location of items and the application of technology. All these factors can affect the handling costs. The most labor-intensive activity is picking. So based on the survey, 50 to 60% of warehouse labor costs are related to picking activity. And also picking is affected by working hours and the requirements and regulations about health and safety. There are different principles of order picking, such as the minimum movement of picking staff and the separate location for each SKU and the minimum congestion, minimum stock outs. We look at the movement. If we compare the time spent among different activities, we find most time was spent in moving between peak locations. Look at this table. It shows the percentage was 38. and 27% of time was spent for paperwork, and 23% for awaiting instructions. The actual picking time was only 12%. So the picking activity is the most labor-intensive activity, and most time spent in moving between pick locations rather than the actual picking time. So the determination of item locations is very important because it can reduce the time. So next we look at the storage plans. The storage plans, it is also called the specific locations for different products, or called slots. It's based on individual characteristics, based on two factors. One is velocity. Velocity means how fast the goods move, and the second factor is weight. How heavy is the product? Also, the slotting depends on some special characteristics. For example, how large, how small, slotting. For velocity, from the velocity perspective, we can identify the location of high volume products. It is better to assign these products near doors or primary aisles, and at lower levels in storage racks. So from the velocity perspective, it's better to assign high volume products near doors, primary aisles. We look at this figure. So in the middle part, you can find the storage space for high volume product. So they are close to the doors and primary aisles. But the storage space for low volume product, they can be assigned to locations more distant from primary aisles or doors. So different locations for high volume and low volume products. The second perspective is weight. So for heavy items, they can be assigned storage locations low to the ground. But for the bulky or low density products, floor space along outside walls is more suitable. And for smaller items, storage shelves, bins, or drawers are suitable for smaller items. So it means that for different types of products, you can determine a more suitable location for storage, and it's based on the velocity and the weight, as well as some special characteristics. Also, the application of technology can improve material handling activity. So here it leads to major savings. The saving is about space saving and the hands-free order picking. The third area is packaging. Packaging is to protect your product, and sometimes it's to promote your product. Also, it can help to identify your product. So these are general functions of packaging. Packaging can use different. We look at the master cartons or containers. You needed to understand the role of packaging. So there are different roles. For example, the unitization, the modular packaging, and the handling. So it's automation or not, and the security purpose, and the storeability and information protection. So the role of packaging is very important. Actually, it is also related to the general functions of packaging. So you can combine the functions and their roles in logistics. When design packaging is complex, so you need to consider cube efficiency and weight efficiency together or at the same time. Otherwise, cube out of vehicle may happen. It will result in shipping fall without reaching weight limit. Or it can happen the case of weighing out of a transport vehicle. For example, shipping air in space but cannot be filled with product. So you have to consider cube efficiency and weight efficiency at the same time. For packaging, especially for modular packaging, there are 4 standard master carton size. It's to achieve compatibility. Next, we look at the benefits of rigid containerization. So it can improve the movement efficiency. It can reduce damage. It can reduce peer forage, and it can protect your products and protect the environment. Also can reduce waste. So all these are benefits of rigid containerization. In addition, packaging has the communication function. It means it can identify your product and you can track your product. For example, the identification can display some key logistics information. And also you can track your product to know the exact location of your product. Also some special handling instructions are provided by the packaging instructions. The application of technologies can improve communication, such as barcoding, RFID, or GPS. All these technologies can improve the communication. Okay, this is module 6. So we have 3 topics in this module: warehousing, storage, and materials handling, and packaging. So it's just a very basic introduction to these 3 aspects. Okay, that's all. If you have any further questions, we can discuss in the tutorial time. Okay, bye.